right now because we came down to the all-time low of 887 if you look at my chart here, and right now Mullen is hovering above the 10 cents. So at the 887 we got a pop up. I said this weeks ago that we want Mullen to come down, hopefully establish a bottom. We see a pop up, and I want to see a retest of a low. Hopefully not all the way down to the all-time low, but a retest of a low, and it holds or consolidate at this level. So let's zoom in and see what's going on. So I'm looking at going to move to the 5-minute chart. So as you can see, Mullen went down to 97 yesterday, but it came right back up to the 10-cent level. So if we look at the previous day, guys, we can see that Mullen actually tested this level before. So previous day it came down to a low of 10 cent, popped back up, went all the way up to 11.50, came back down, and yesterday now it came to the 97, not 97 cents, but 9 cents, and then it pushed back up. So it appears that Mullen is kind of holding this level at around the 10 cents. So let's see what's going on with Yahoo Finance. Did we get more interest coming in, or was there a sell-off? So on Yahoo Finance, as you can see here, Mullen came down slightly, 3.9%. Pre-market, I would say basically flat, up a little bit, but basically flat. In terms of the actual market cap, we lost some market shares yesterday. So we're down to 214 million. So I guess a lot of people are running out of patience in terms of holding the stock so long. And I know retail investors are still buying because they're still looking at Mullen will run at some point, and they don't want to miss out on when that run starts to happen. In terms of the volume came in at the average 337 million compared to 242. And if we look at the market, the market was basically flat for the TSX, S&P flat, the Dow basically flat. So the market was basically flat yesterday, and Mullen, I would say, hovering, a little bit a downside, but basically flat overall. So if we look at the comps is where you get a feel as to what's happening. So Neo fell almost 3%, Rivian fell almost 5%, Lucid fell almost 3%. So the market overall was kind of flat, but EVs got a hit yesterday. So I would say, in terms of how Mullen moved yesterday, it was, I would say, on par with what happened with the other EV stock. Or actually, Mullen held out a little bit, not too bad. It did. Usually, this stock moves, in big percentage, like double-digit figures. But we kind of held at a, I would say basically flat. So that's not too bad for Mullen. So if we go back to the chart and we take a look at the options, so options that came in yesterday, call options was basically low because Mullen usually is around 30,000, so we got 15,000 that came in. Puts were basically non-existent. In terms of open interest for this would be for today, because tomorrow is going to be a holiday, and for the weekend also, don't forget Easter weekend coming up, long weekend for a lot of you guys, so hopefully you enjoy it. But for today, the open interest is 14,000, which is lower than what normally Mullen does. Next week 15,000, and for the 21st, this is where it gets interesting, guys. I keep saying it over and over. I expect Mullen by this time to run up. I'm going to make that bold prediction now, guys. The 21st of April. This is where you have heavy interest coming in, open interest. In terms of the long-term interest, the January 2024, we're looking at 91,000 in terms of open interest, and in terms of January 2025, so this has increased. So we're at 121,000. So long term, the investors are saying by January 2024, it should run past the 50 cents, or January 2025, we should get past the 50 cents. But usually you buy, options in advance, not to say by then it will reach the 50 cent mark, but you want to get in early. So once you start moving and it hits the 50 cents, you're in the money. And you could be in the money as early as this year. All right, so overall for the stock, let me just zoom out on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we are looking at the RSI, and the RSI is down. It's heading to the oversold territory. It's kind of halfway in between the average mark and down to the heavily oversold level. So it's not fully at the oversold territory, but it's heading there. In terms of the MACD, it's looking bearish right now. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for you for today. So I would think for today, Mullen, based on the trend so far over the past couple of days, it should hold around the 10 cent. And once that happens, if we get even a slight push up of the 10 cent, then we can start looking at the technicals, guys. We can start drawing our trend line, and we can start looking to say, yes, it's hold the new support, and Mullen will retest the 1690 when it had popped up to that level. So that's kind of what I have for you for today, guys. So as usual, if you like this type of content, don't forget to hit the like, and don't forget to subscribe to get the early notification. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and enjoy your Easter.